What is going on, everyone? I'm trying to change up this intro so it doesn't feel
We're
repetitive.
recording these back to back. We
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
spice things up a little bit here.
But not seem repetitive. But what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Always Compete Seahawks podcast. I am Sam. That is Mike, and today it's number 5 on our list of the top 10 best Seahawks plays of the decade. Mike says, I'm not going to like this one upcoming on his list. I'm assuming that's either going to be the Richard Sherman Achilles tear or Russell Wilson mallet finger.
Whoa. Okay.
But
Clearly, Sam's. I'm just a Bears fan in disguise. I pray on every other team's downfall.
Yeah.
The reason I said this is because you mentioned it earlier as maybe a play that you wouldn't have thought so high. And I have a much bigger, fonder memory of this play. It's the Percy Harvin return touchdown in the Super Bowl. Here's my thing, right? Was the Percy Harvin trade worth it? Absolutely not.
Yeah, absolutely. I also have some harsh feeling towards that. Maybe I'm a bit biased.
But I was gonna say you kind of felt the same way about the other play that I mentioned that you guys should go watch, and I'm not about to spoil it. But here's the thing, right? Number one, it's iconic because it was in the Super Bowl and it was halftime, right? Super Bowl kick return touchdowns are always iconic. You got Jacoby Jones. You got Percy Harvin, Desmond Howard. You got the greatest Super Bowl kick return of all time, which is Devin Hester. Don't at me. But, they're just iconic. It's so few and far between to see a kick return touchdown in the Super Bowl. Awesome, right? Coming out of the gate at halftime, I believe at that point we were up 22-0. And like you said earlier with the whole Malcolm Smith thing, right? Yes, the cushion, we had a cushion, but we're going up against the greatest offense in the history of the NFL. No cushion was safe. So I think at halftime, the Broncos kind of they got back into themselves. They got some more life. They took a deep breath. They were going to come out and they would be aggressive in the second half, try to come back. And then Percy Harvin just deflated them. Like the game was over after that play because the Broncos came out in the second half and immediately, like literally the first play of the game, gave up a touchdown. Another reason I think that it was really cool was because if I'm not mistaken, it took exactly 12 seconds for him to score.
Yep.
And so that was like number 12, right?
Symbolic.
And so again, was Percy Harvin a worthwhile asset? No, but that play will always stand out to me. I knew we had the Super Bowl one after that play, and that is my 5th best Seahawks play of the decade. Sam, questions, comments, concerns?
That's totally fair. I'm not going to argue. I just have some harsh feelings towards the Percy Harvin trade, and
Percy Harvin actually is one of my favorite players ever. He just I loved him when he was on the Vikings. I remember watching him in Florida, and then him on the Vikings, and then him coming to Seattle. I was so hyped when we got for him, when we traded for him. He was supposed to be like what Tyreek Hill is now. That's what he was kind of supposed to be, but obviously it didn't really work out. But that play will always hold a fond memory in my head. And he was, by the way, Percy Harvin was goated in Madden. He was so freaking good in Madden. I used to run end around with him like
Madden
6 times a game.
25 or whatever it was.
I used to run end around with him like 6 times a game. It was amazing. All my friends hated me, but that's why number 5 right there.
My number 5 is different. It is different. So I'm now down to like a 333 batting average. So ouch. But
that's still good, bro. That's still good.
I mean, it's fine, but it's only going to go downhill from here, I think. So
I think we can agree on at least one more. Maybe 2.
Number 5 is kind of forgotten in the overall grand scheme of Seahawks history. But man, I had to put it on this list. It's in a Super Bowl.
The
Jermaine Kearse catch late in the fourth quarter. Russ throws up a ball, and Malcolm Butler bats it up, and it kind of falls down. And I'm like, oh, damn. I turned my head away from the game. I hear my dad go, oh, my God. I'm like, oh, my God. Did Jermaine Kearse fall and shatter his leg into a million pieces?
Yeah, just his leg
is it intercepted? Is it what happened?
No way we throw an interception.
I see Jermaine Kearse getting up with the football in his arms.
That was crazy.
And the difficulty of this play, being batted off his leg, the awareness to be able to realize it did not hit the ground, be able to go down and catch it. Man, this was supposed to be the moment right here.
That was supposed to be like the David Tyree catch. You know what I mean?
That was our helmet catch.
That was our helmet catch.
I mean,
and There were I can totally agree with you. There were so many things about that made it great, but the best part for me was when they panned over to see Tom Brady's face and he looks like he wanted to cry. Oh, that made my little heart so happy to see that grown man near tears.
It just kind of the main reason why it hurts for me is just the game.
Yeah.
The game is so scarring.
That is probably, if we give the
that
ball to
was
Marshawn,
supposed to be the Malcolm Butler Super Bowl play. It
Yeah.
really was.
Yeah.
It really was.
If we hand the ball off, I really think that's like number 2 or 3 on the list.
It might be number 1.
It might be number 1. That was the reason I kept it off, was because just the memory, like you've been saying a couple of times, like the game was just so, I just can't get over the interception. Another thing I will say that I love that play for is, I don't know if you remember this, Sam. This is kind of some meta NFL knowledge type stuff. Do you remember, and I believe it was the 2011 Pro Bowl, and it was against Earl Thomas, so it's relevant to the Seahawks here. I think it was Andy Dalton who just chucked up a bomb, and Brandon Marshall fell down, and it hit off his leg, and he caught it.
I do not remember this.
So I remember that play because I was a huge Brandon Marshall fan. Brandon Marshall is one of my favorite players ever, and I loved it when he went to the Bears. And that was the first thing that I thought of when that happened. And I was like, oh my God, the stars are aligning perfectly. Like, this is a sign. You know, I went to a Seahawks game earlier in the same stadium, which this was the same stadium that the Beast Quick happened in for context. You know, I was like, oh my God, the stars are aligning. Like, this is perfect, whatever. And then like a balloon left outside too long. Just.
I'll think about it like a balloon's going up and you're watching it. You're like, oh my God, it's beautiful. And it hits a power line.
Yeah.
And it blows up. Your house goes dark. The entire neighborhood goes dark.
It blows up your house. You're homeless now.
I mean, that's pretty much what it was. Like,
that's how it felt, bro.
Like, think about if you had a beautiful red balloon and you let it fly into the air.
Yeah.
And it hits like a nuclear bomb.
Wipes out your whole block.
Wipes out not just your block. It wipes out the entire nation, bro. Like, it's like
internet access across the globe goes dark.
Yeah.
Another thing with that play, I think that is big, which this is, I think, legitimizes having it being on your list. So I don't know if you watch NFL films, but I think they did a list of the top 10 most forgotten plays of all time.
Yeah, they
believe
did.
that
and
was
it was
number
like number
2.
1 or 2. Yeah,
it was number 1 or 2, and it just goes to show, you know, how unfortunate the preceding plays were. But I'm not going to disagree with you at all. I thought about it, but I just couldn't put myself through that, wondering what happened next. But totally agree. I think that's a very iconic Seahawks play. Again, that's just, to no fault of Jermaine Kearse's, that's a play that should be probably, you know, number 2 or 3 if we're being honest. But whatever. So let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys think of number 5 on our list. We're halfway through. Keep, you know, commenting what your lists are, how you're liking our list. Make sure to subscribe to see episode 4 tomorrow. We got 4, 3, and 2 coming up to finish off our list. And that's it for me. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
Peace.